In a playoffs that has been dominated by stars, one that has impressed me the most is one that people aren't really talking about, and that's been Jaylen Brown. The All-Star wing just had the best season of his NBA career. I believe he should make an All-NBA team this year, and he's been even better in these playoffs. Jaylen has had one of the best development curves I have ever seen from an NBA player. His development into an All-NBA caliber guy has been incredible. The strides he's made as a shooter and creator have been awesome, and it's on full display in these playoffs. Through 8 games in the 2023 NBA playoffs, Jaylen Brown is averaging 26 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game, on 55.7, 53.5, 70.4 shooting splits with a 64.6 true shooting percentage. He only has one game in these playoffs where he shot below 50% from the field, and only 2 games where he has scored below 20 points in these playoffs. Jaylen Brown is a true 3-level scorer because he is at the very least good at all 3 levels of scoring. I think that explains it in itself. He's a great finisher at the basket due to his athleticism and skill. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the world, and he's a good 3-point shooter despite what the regular season numbers from this past season might suggest. I want to start with Jaylen's finishing. He's shooting 67.3% on 6.9 restricted area attempts per game in the playoffs. He's shooting 63.6% on 11 overall paint area attempts per game in the playoffs. He's one of the most complete athletes in the NBA. He's a great vertical athlete with great vertical range. He has good body control and flexibility. He has a good first step. He has good open floor speed. He's super strong and physical. He has every athletic trait you look for in a slasher basically. And he has shown that he's good at both on-ball and off-ball slashing scenarios. The handle can be shaky at times, but it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think the wild nature of his handle turnovers give off the idea that he's much worse at it than he actually is, because I will admit, the bad handle turnovers are noticeably bad. But I do think that the handle is good enough to attack on the ball and create in general. It's what he was known for entering the league, his athleticism and ability to attack the basket, and he's putting those athletic traits to good use. But it's about more than his ability to attack the basket. It's also been about his shooting ability, and I want to start by talking about his mid-range game, because Jaylen is one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. He's up 46.9% on 4.4 mid-range attempts per game in the regular season. Now, if you actually look it up, it will say 46.8% on 3 mid-range attempts per game. The NBA has a weird way of tracking mid-range shots, and they do miss out on a few because of it. So the number I used was jump shots attempted from 8 feet to just within the 3-point line. Regardless of that, the tape speaks for itself. Now, the numbers have gone down a bit in the playoffs. He's at 37.9% on 3.6 mid-range attempts per game, but it's still pretty good. He's great at getting to his spots from the mid-range, one of the best in the league at it, and honestly, when he gets to his spots, it's more shocking to see him miss than it is to make, which is a lot of progress made over the years, because that's not something I was saying like 2 or 3 years ago. He's great at stopping and going and using that ability to shake defenders. He's excellent at pulling up from the mid-range and getting high enough to avoid contests. He's excellent at using fadeaways and step-backs as well. He just has mastered the mid-range scoring to the point it's a legit tool in this game and a staple in this game. However, while his mid-range numbers have seen a step down going from regular season to playoffs, when you look at his 3-point numbers going from regular season to playoffs, they have seen an increase. He's been incredible from 3 in these playoffs. In fact, he's leading the playoffs in 3-point efficiency among players who have played at least 5 games and average at least 4 3-point attempts per game. And this is where Jaylen's versatility has shined the most, in my opinion, because it's where you see the on-ball and off-ball versatility the most. I do think he works best off-ball, off movement, off catch, things like that. But I do think he is capable on the ball as well. He's somebody that can hit step backs, create out the dribble, take deep threes, pull up. He can do it all. Despite the fact that he had the worst 3-point shooting season of his career among seasons where he's taken high volume, he still was a very good shooter, and I don't think the numbers always tell the full story. And he has shown that in the playoffs that he's very capable as a 3-point shooter and capable of being elite in this area. When you can attack the basket and hit mid-range shots the way Jaylen can, having a 3-point shot expands your game so much. I think Jaylen Brown is a player that people tend to overthink, and a lot of that has to do with the mistakes he makes on the court. More specifically, just how noticeable those mistakes are. And it has led to people somewhat underselling him as a player. That's not to say the mistakes don't matter. You would like to see him improve on the mistakes and lessen those. But it shouldn't take away from what he can do as much as it has, in my opinion. In a way, it reminds me a bit of the views around a player I talked about in the last video, Jordan Poole, where the viral nature of the mistakes make people lower on them as players, whether it's justified or not. Granted, it's not a one-to-one comparison. Jaylen Brown is a much better basketball player than Jordan Poole is, and I don't think his mistakes hurt the team or have as much viral nature as the ones that Jordan Poole has. But the basic idea of flaws overshadowing the good is noticeable. And with Jaylen in particular, his playoff success at a young age, constant improvement, and reaching all NBA caliber levels of play should be focused on more than the time he dribbles off his foot in a game he also has an efficient 40 points and his team wins. Despite what people may think, this is what Jaylen Brown is. One of the 30 best players in the NBA, who honestly is closer to 20 than he is 30. He's an elite second option on a title contender. He fits well next to a top 10 player in the league. He has versatility both on and off the ball. He's extremely productive in his role, and he's relatively efficient in his role, to the point that I would consider him the best second option in the league right now. He's capable of taking over games if needed, but doesn't need to be the focal point. He's one of the best mid-range shooters in the league, one of the most complete athletes in the league, one of the 5 best wings in the NBA, and one of the best 3-level scorers in the NBA. He's legit all NBA caliber as a player, and that speaks to the work he's put in to develop as a player. He's not without his flaws. They are noticeable on tape. I'm not trying to say that they don't exist, but they shouldn't take away from the good the way they have, it seems, on Twitter or in the media. At the end of the day, Jaylen Brown is an incredible player who's developed into that player over years and has shown one of the most promising and one of the most insane development curves we have ever seen. He impacts winning basketball and is a big reason why Boston is one of the best teams in the league. But that's the end of this video. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you guys watch these videos and support the channel. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, so if that's something that interests you, really think you enjoy this channel, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways you can help me out. And also know when I upload videos, because I'm uploading a lot. It's the playoffs. We're going to be getting new daily uploads because there's a lot to talk about, including what I talked about in this video. And also, it helps me out in the YouTube algorithm if you like and subscribe. Helps where people find the channel, helps where people find my videos, so in turn it helps me grow so I can make more content for you guys consistently in the future. Let me know what you think about Jaylen Brown in the comment section below. How good do you think he is? Do you think he's all NBA? What do you think about Boston's title chances? Do you think they're going to win it all? Do you think they lose in the second round, conference finals, in the finals? All that would be much appreciated in the comment section below. Also, make sure you go check out my basketball video essay channel. Haven't uploaded there in a while, but I do plan on uploading those soon. It's just another place where I talk about basketball in a more laid-back way. So more personality, so if you like that type of content, go subscribe over there. Link in the description and the pinned comment. That being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.